This show is sponsored by APCW Wrestling Academy. Learn wrestling from WWE Hall of Famer Robert Gibson. If you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, contact them at 770-871-5417 or online at apcwdouglasville@gmail.com. Also, buy Collar and Elbow brand. Save 10% on your next purchase by using our discount code WPNWrestle. That's WPNWrestle at checkout and get a discount on great collar and elbow products.
You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
For the World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Today on the podcast, we have a returning guest. When I spoke with her originally, she was in the ground stages of her wrestling career. Now she's grown quite a bit in the time since I've talked to her last. She's been or become a two-time Diamond Division champion at Reality Wrestling, a unified women's champion at Pro Wrestling 2.0, the head of her own faction, beating up on a poor 11-year-old pseudo WWE name, and become one of the indie darlings of women's wrestling. Yeah, I thought you liked that. Become one of the indie darlings, competing with multiple organizations, and now she has taken on the mantle of the disciplinarian, the new disciplinarian with the WOW Women of Wrestling. My guest is the former Ivory Robyn, the current disciplinarian, better known to you and me as the Black Diamond, Robyn Reid. Welcome back.
Yeah, that's a lot of different names. That's why
it is.
Stevie Ray always gives me a hard time about it. He's like, what? He was like, I don't know what to call you. What do I call you? I'm just like, Stevie, quit playing. But hey, what's up, y'all?
Well, I'm assuming that Robyn Reid is the official name.
Yes, it is.
Now, and I'm not going to go and rehash a bunch of other stuff because, when we talked the first time, we talked about how you got into it, your influences. I guess we can touch on a little bit of that. Sting and WCW being one of the influences that you had in those early years. But you also talked about how you got the name Ivory Robyn. So what happened here? When did this change take place that you went to Robyn Reid now? Where did this detour?
Well, it's always, here's the thing. It's always been from the very beginning, Robyn or Robyn Reid.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I said, I slipped up. I got, the very first time I did a run out between a match with Miranda. She goes by Miranda Alizé, I think, now. And Athena, now known as Ember Moon. And I did a run out or run in. And I got so excited and amped up. Instead of saying Robyn, I said my shoot name. I said my real name. And I was like, oopsie. But, I paused it because I'm like, if I say my name and then I pause and then say the name that I'm supposed to say, then they could probably edit that out. And they edited it out, but then I got to the back and Booker T and Bruce Pritchard were like, yeah, well, you got to go by Ivory Robyn now. And I'm just like, oh, shoot. So I was like, crap.
Well, somewhere along the line, you managed to wrangle that back in, because now I see you're mostly Robyn Reid.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So somehow, some way, you've reassumed control over your name.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Because a lot of promoters were like, "Hey, what do you want to go by? Do you go by this? Do you go by that?" And I'm like, Robyn. I'm like, just call me Robyn. I was like, Robyn Reid is fine. But Ro's the only place that calls me Ivory Robyn, so that's fine.
Okay. Really? All right. Well, that's different. And you know, before I even go further, I do have to say one thing. No, it's not bad. Well, at least not for you. It's more an indictment on the promotions that exist here, because you know, I know at some point in time, following the initial interview, I wanted to see you in a promotion in Atlanta or thereabout, and the fact that that hasn't happened is just a crime, in my view. I mean, it legitimately is. I was like, don't wait until she blows up and then she becomes a big deal and oh yeah, we got to get her now. I was like, come on, don't do that. But it seems like that's the path.
I don't know. Like after that, I contacted a couple of promotions and heard nothing, and now I'm just like, all right, cool, bet, as I like to say to people.
And again, why that's happened. One of them in particular, which I will not name, which has had, you know, multiple all women shows. It's like, why is this not happening? I don't get it. You know, and so again, it's nothing on you. It's an indictment to the promotions that exist here, because in my view, I was like, just within the city of Lone, you have 3 or 4 in my mind ready-made opponents. Aja Pereira is here, the extraterrestrial. Double D Rose is here. One of your WoW or current WoW castmates, Nina Monet, is here. The Duchess, Oz Ali. You know, so it's like there's enough talent for you to have had multiple trips and not have worn out the welcome by now. And that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. You tell me.
I wish I could tell you. I mean, and again, you know, that's not so much a question as just a statement of what's happening here. What's going on? I don't know. Anyhow, we won't dwell on that too long, because clearly you're doing well. Between I don't know, is reality wrestling is still your home promotion? I don't know if you qualify that at the home promotion any longer, is it?
I always tell people I don't necessarily know what to say anymore, because like I'm in Florida now. It's been a few months since I've been there, but I think that reality of wrestling will always be one of my home for sure, because that's where I did most of my training. They definitely taught me a lot there. You know, they taught me, the biggest takeaway that I got from there is psychology, something that I'm not afraid to say, it's something that's lacked a little bit in wrestling nowadays. You know,
I would agree.
They taught me that for sure, and it's like I'll always for sure be like grateful for that.
Okay, well, and I would maybe you would agree with me with this. I think that's where you really kind of, as a personality, kind of cut your teeth, where people took notice of who you were. You know, there's a certain amount of promotions that's across the country that people kind of look at like, oh yeah, if you work in there, then you must be something. And I think reality wrestling is one of those promotions where people do take notice of you if you
for
happen
sure,
to be there.
because you're trained by one of the best. You know what I mean? One of the best that's ever stepped foot in this business. And so if you go somewhere and someone asks you where you train and you said, I trained under Booker T, then yeah, they hold you to a certain standard. You know what I mean? And I always do my best to make sure that, even still to this day, you know what I mean? When I tell people, when they ask me where I've trained and I tell them Booker T, I know that I'm going to kind of get that look like, okay, well, she better come out here and do something. You know what I mean? And not even necessarily like, you know, all these crazy moves and things like that, but just looking like I belong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, even still to this day, no matter where I go, you know, and people know that I come from Booker's school. I don't want to say it like this, but I get held to kind of different standard, I guess you would say, in a sense, because, you know, he's one of the best, and when you're training with one of the best or underneath one of the best, then you kind of get that look like, okay, she should know what she's doing then. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And I can't say that that's wrong. I mean, look, first off, you're dealing with a Hall of Famer, multiple-time champion there. So, yeah, if you got a fraction of what he knew, then you'd still be like miles ahead of most people. So, so yeah.
And, you know, one of the last times I talked to him on the phone, the door is always kind of open. Like, he always tells me, if you have any questions or anything, just hit me up, you know, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, yeah. I was like, I got you. You know what I mean? And so we still got that. And, you know, the same thing with his wife. If I have any questions about anything, like, I make sure I talk to her, especially when I'm there at Reality of Wrestling performing or anything like that. That's, like I said, that's family, no matter what. So.
Have you had the opportunity to do any of the ladies' night shows that they've put on?
I have. I did commentary on Ladies Night Out 3 this past August, which was it was awesome. And then I worked the second Ladies Night Out, and they're doing the fourth one in like a month, I think. So, yeah.
You know, I need to make me a trip out there to go to watch one of those live. You know,
Ladies Night Out is extremely good. The production, of course, always looks just amazing. And then the women that they have work the shows they do a great job.
I bet. I mean, again, I don't think that the names that have been involved there can be overlooked by any stretch of the imagination. It is really some high quality talent that has come there. Speaking of the role, let's recap some of that, some of your career, or at least your championship career there, for those who might need to be caught up to speed. That being that you were the third Diamonds Division champion after a long hiatus. I know we had talked about that at the time. When you got the championship, it had been deactivated for a little bit of a pretty lengthy period of time, actually.
About five months, I think. Yeah, about 5-6 months.
Yeah, enough where people would have forgotten about it. That's for certain. I think that the last champion before he was Kenzie Sykes. You then carried it and lost the title to Kyla Ray, who's also out there killing it on the indies. Shout out to her. She lost her title to the now retired Kayla Lynn, which the title was vacated again, and then you come back for a second run, and you get the title back. How did you feel knowing that you were going to be holding it for a second go round, and in the promotion that essentially put you on the map?
I'm going to take a step back real quick.
Okay.
Let me see. After, because somebody was forgotten, and there's a girl named Jada.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Jada Keys.
No, you are absolutely fine. She held it for a little bit, like a month or two, I think. And then Kylie had got it back from her, and then Kayla won, and yeah, it's a lot. I make sure I know my history. I stay up on that.
Well, yeah, I apologize for that. I wasn't.
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I got, gave her some love too. You were asking how I felt when I got it the second time.
Yes.
Yeah, I cried.
Wow. Okay.
I legit cried in the ring, and people were like, "You're a bad guy. You can't cry in the ring." I was like, "Well, I'm kind of an emotional person, so I did." So you know what I mean? I'm always one of those people, especially when it comes to championships and the company decides that they're going to run with me as their champion. I don't believe anything until it's in my hand.
Okay.
That's the kind of person that I am. You know what I mean? Someone can tell me tomorrow that I'm going to win a championship somewhere, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to believe it till it's in my hand. You know what I mean? Because in wrestling, anything can go wrong. And I think we all pretty much know that. And things can change. You know what I mean? The outcome of a match can change and stuff like that. So I was told a little bit prior, and I got a little emotional when I was on the phone talking to him and stuff like that. And then when it actually happened, I was just like, when Kylie went flying off the apron, after I kicked her off, I just like dropped down immediately. Like you see it in the footage where I just dropped down in the ring and I just started crying because I was like, holy crap! Like I've waited forever to get back to this moment. You know what I mean? Because I had my rocky moments during that time period where I was a champion, and I was just like, Booker's never gonna give me another chance again. Oh my God, he's so mad. But the thing is, this is just me, period, in life. I'm really persistent. Like, I wasn't getting booked for a few months, for like 4 or 5 months, something like that, but I still showed up every show. Okay. I still showed up making sure everything, you know what I mean? The same way that I was when he deactivated the division. I was the exact same way. I was making sure, hey, everybody good? Y'all good? Good luck, tonight, go kill it. I'm a very persistent person. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been through things, especially in this business, and I'm just like, you got to have thick skin. And so when that opportunity came back around, I was just like, wow, he's giving me another chance. You know what I mean? So I was very, very humble, very emotional about the whole thing. So, yeah.
Okay, so needless to say that moment, it meant something, easily.
For sure. For sure.
Okay, because I know there are those doubters out there. I mean, not generally wrestling fans, but, the people that exist outside of our fandom, shall we say, that don't quite get it. That don't understand, like, this is a stamp of approval of sorts, and
yes.
it does mean something.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so there we have, your second championship win, Reality of Wrestling again. The promotion that more or less put Robyn Reid, the Black Diamond, on the map. I mean, that's part of the reason you had that name, isn't it?
What's the Black Diamond?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it from these two guys, like my best friend Eric Lockhart and another guy that goes by the name Jay Son. I'm still debating on who gave it to me first. I just remember, the division is called the Diamond Division, and I'm a black girl, so they're like the Black Diamond. So I was like, I can't remember who gave it to me first, but so I always give them both credit. So, yeah.
Okay, so if nothing else, as long as you exist and you carry that moniker, you're always representing Reality of Wrestling, in your own way.
Yeah.
But these days, now that you are in Florida, you are, without knocking any other promotion, your home base is Pro Wrestling 2.0. Is that
yes
fair?
That's where I do my training and stuff.
Okay, so, and within that organization, you are now running a little faction, correct? Tell me about that.
Well, the girls and myself make up a faction called the Diamond Dynasty. We have Janai Kai. She's like the kickboxer. She's like kickboxing queen. Like, she's a legit kickboxer. So if you ever get the opportunity to watch her, she does a lot of things with her legs. Like, she can literally like do, I don't even know what you would call that, like the splits where one foot is, I don't know how she does it. I don't even know how you describe it. But her kicks hurt. I've taken I've taken a couple of them. I've seen a couple people, take them. So I was like, she needs to be in a group with me. And then the other young lady that we have in the group, she goes by Salem Silva. Mm-hmm. And so she's like the sassy one in the group. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I love our dynamic. We're legit like close to each other. We always try to make sure like that, you know, one another's okay. We're always there ringside supporting and, you know, just doing a lot of training and stuff with each other. And, you know, they're both pretty new, and I decided, you know, I want to build something with them, and I want to take them, you know, under my wing. Like, hey, let's do something together. You know what I mean? So they're great. They're awesome. I enjoy my time with them.
Okay. Now, that said, one of the things that stands out, and I'm going to ask you to elaborate on this, and I'm sure you'll be able to go forward. I think you got to chuckle off of it a little bit earlier. There's a video that exists with the Diamond Dynasty confronting a young woman,
Oh, Lord.
a super fan, if you will. You know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, now on the surface that would sound incredibly mean, and
Oh, God.
just overly brutal. Why don't you tell me about that situation?
I tripped and fell into her. She fell, and that was that.
Okay. Let's try this again. Why don't you tell me what
Oh,
really
God.
happened, and not your heel made up make believe version of that.
Oh, God.
I tripped up. I didn't. The rug was bumpy. My fist just happened to be up
So,
as I was trying to catch myself go down.
yeah. No, we had a great opportunity to work with Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know her as Izzy or Izzy Mania. And
Yes,
she's
super fan
such
Izzy.
a trooper. Yes, she's such a, like, she's going to be something special. She is, like, to be so young, she has such a strong work ethic, and her family is so supportive of her, and it's just, I don't know, I admire that. You know, to have that kind of support system at such a young age, and she's known what she's wanted to do for, like, a long time, and, you know, just any time that we were able to film something with her or do something with her, she was such a trooper. Yeah, come on, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. So I appreciate that. So she's a great girl.
Okay. So, and in this particular video, when this happened, she was, I guess, being interviewed, and let's be clear, she's been on the rounds with some of the independents so far, and she's played the heel. You know, she's in this particular video, she was babyface, and I forget what exactly set it off, but and I forget who said the words. But it was something along the lines, this isn't verbatim, like you're not a wrestler, you're like you're an 11-year-old mark or something like that. And then whammo, something came from behind, and then next thing you know, she's on the floor. You don't want to, don't want to acknowledge.
I don't know.
Okay. We'll leave that one alone. I'm just saying, you know, for those that are listening, I'm sure you can Google it, go find that video. You know, so we're not going to get too much out of the Black Diamond on that one necessarily, but the video
But did
exists.
you die? But did you die?
No, she didn't. She didn't die. She's still around and kicking, I guess, more or less. But for those that are curious and want to see what happened, go Google it. You can find it. It's out there. The look of Robyn Reid has changed over the years since I initially met you. So some might say a little bit more militant. I don't know if that was what you were going for, but what was the genesis behind the change of look, and how did we get to where we are now? Seems like you settled on your appearance and persona.
Yes. I decided to, first of all, my hair is gray. I think the first time you ever talked to me, it was black.
Yes, it was.
It's gray. And that's just because I wanted something different. I had been looking at that hair color for a while, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do something different. And I also started I wanted to do something in tribute to my father, who is a retired Navy after 22, 23 years. And so I wanted to do something tribute to him. So I decided to start wearing camo. And from the camo, I was like, okay, I wonder what would happen if I wore gray. And it just kind of, I'm just start building on it. And so, yes, that's the thing, is me becoming more militant.
Okay. Now, do you also play the part of the militant when you're in the ring?
You said, do I play the part?
Yes. You got the look, but do you also go the extra mile of I guess being the militant when you're in the ring?
Yeah, I forgot who it was I was working. I was working someone, and I guess I was being a butthole, or whatever you want to call it. I know, right? That's such a kindergarten word. I was being a butthole. And so as they were on the ground, I can't remember who it was I was working. I put my foot on their back, and I made them do push-ups and things like that. So, so it's just those little things, and I'll military crawl towards them, and you know what I mean? It's just like, she's a work in progress, so. But I have done things here and there, I yell at them, I scream, get up, you know what I mean? And, I'm playing around with her.
So are we going to get us some dog tags, or, a riding crop or something like that?
Who, me?
Yeah. I mean, you said she's work in progress. So are these are these add-ons that we can possibly see down the line?
Dog tags? I don't know. I've never actually thought about it, because knowing my forgetful ass, because I have a wrestler's brain, I saw a wrestler's brain, I'll probably end up forgetting to take them off, and next thing I know, I'm wrestling with the damn dog chains on, or dog tags. So I don't know.
A likely excuse to make sure I keep a weapon with me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot, Ref. What are you talking about? I wasn't trying to choke her with the chain.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot it was on my neck.
How I got around her throat, I don't know. Okay, well, look, built-in excuse. I'm just saying. So we can move from there, because you're still roaming the independents. You're killing it out there. You're making a big name for yourself, and that has apparently got somebody's attention, because you were announced and signed and recently done tapings in LA for Women of Wrestling, which most people know as WOW, which will begin airing, I believe, this fall on Access TV. They return to television
in January.
In January. Okay, so that is a big change, and
yes.
And I don't know what it is. I mean, for anybody that's listened to me do these podcasts for any length of time, they know that I've covered WOW. I've done reviews for some of the shows. I've talked to several of the people, past and present, that have been a part of the program. I've had my positives. I've had my critiques, and it seems like this incarnation of WOW, somebody decided we need to go in the opposite direction. When WOW was originally produced in 2000, it was more, let's hire, and I'm not saying this mean or anything like that, but it was, let's hire some athletic girls and we'll train them to be wrestlers, opposed to let's get wrestlers and we'll get them to be the personality that we want them to be. today is like the leverage has seemingly changed, and it feels like there are so many more of you that are already, out here on the independents. Yourself, Jesse Bell, Harlow O'Hara, Havoc, Santana Garrett, Nina Monet. These are all girls that have been out there working for some time, relatively
Mhm.
speaking, and now they're on there. So I mean, I don't know if you had any talks as to why they've got this change of uh, not heart. I mean, I can't really think of the right term to kind of describe that, but it's basically a change of
Mhm.
heart. I mean, it's a change of, hey, how we're doing things. Did,
Mhm.
did did you have any idea as to why that might have happened?
In my opinion, the women that I met that train there and that train with WoW, you you guys are gonna be like pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? Just that feeling that I feel like I'm still on that high of last week. Um, right off the bat, I'm telling everyone, y'all need to watch that first episode. You need to, because that alone, as we were sitting there and we were backstage, I'm not even gonna say what happened, but that alone should automatically like just pull people in. Yeah, it's so. This taping is so good. It's so good. Like the women that they have that don't necessarily have as much experience as myself or a couple of the other girls have, they are so freaking talented. They are so athletic. Everybody held their own. And I was so nervous, not only for myself, I was nervous for everyone because I knew that we all had to do good. You know what I mean? We had something to we had to knock it out of the park. And that's exactly what happened. Both days of taping, y'all are gonna be so like I just can't wait for y'all to see it. The product is just like I'm telling you, like I'm so hyped, I'm so amped, I'm so excited, and to just have been a part of history, to that opportunity to Jeannie Buss is one of our bosses. She in case like no one knows who she is, um
Owner of
she
the
is one of the
Lakers.
owners of the Lakers, yes. And then she owns WoW with David McClain, and they own WoW. And another one of our bosses is Mark Cuban. For you guys that don't know Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So that's the TV station that we're going to be airing on Access TV. And God, just I'm so proud of all the women that were there. Like everybody, just they busted their ass. I don't know if I can say that,
You can
but
say that.
everyone did so freaking good. Everybody was rooting for each other. Like, and I know some people say, "Oh, everybody's rooting for blah blah blah." No, these women were legit rooting for each other. The product, everybody looks good. Their gear, every freaking body looks good, and they knocked it out of the park. And I could not be more honored and humbled to be a part of this WoW Superheroes roster.
All right, and it's some money that you're talking there. I mean, but Jeannie Buss on her own could probably run that thing with it. Between her and the Cuban, yeah, that's some heavy cash flow going on there.
Yes,
So
but they definitely just like I said, I'm still on that high. It's still just as I was coming back, I was just like, well, I actually like after the very last match, I was sitting there. They came in, gave a big speech, all that stuff, and I had to go off to a corner somewhere because once again, I'm emotional, and so I can admit it, and so Selena Majors. She works for WCW. She's their head women's trainer there. And Tessa Blanchard, who also worked the show and is on the roster, she was also helping to do some training there as well. And I was talking to Selena, and I just cried because I'm like, just thank you. I'm a very thankful and humble person. I just thanked her so much, and I was just like, thank you for this opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're hoping great things will come, and then, you know, we're just hoping and praying great things will come. But what's going on right now in women's wrestling, it's, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's awesome.
I don't see any reason why that wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, look, let me give some credit to David McClain here for a second, because that guy has held on to the idea of WOW for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
That in and of itself is saying something, because I'm not going to even begin to tell you that I would hold on to anything like that. It's like I'd have gave up on that a long time ago. But that's me, you know. I would have felt like, oh man, I'd have been defeated. I'd have felt like I can't do this. But give that guy some credit that he stuck it out and through the ups and downs, because I think this is maybe the fourth incarnation of it. It's been on TV and syndication, then it went away. Then it was on YouTube as a reality show, then it went away. Then they did tapings in 2013, and you know that kind of got chopped up into episodes that aired on the website. Then it went back, and then it came back. He has held on to it and somehow managed to make it work, and as that in and of itself needs to be applauded. You know. He has pushed that thing through. I want to rewind here for a second for those that are listening that are old school fans. So you brought up Selena Majors. Some of you may know her as Bambi from back in the day. That's how I know. In fact, she wrestled not all that long ago here, just outside of Atlanta, like 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, against a young lady here who I have interviewed her on my channel as well. Young Danny Jordan. For those that are interested, go check into the archives if you want to check that out. But yeah, Bambi was in action, you know, and still working. Selena Majors. So yeah, man, it seems like a lot of stuff is going on there. But one of the things that we have to take with that is that there is no Robyn Reid on Women Wrestling. It is the disciplinarian.
I am the disciplinarian. Yeah, take two. I am the disciplinarian. That's a long word. I was like, I gotta get used to saying that word.
Well, yeah, it is. But now you're the second woman to hold that title, to be that character.
Yes.
Now the question is, did you see the original disciplinarian, and if so, are there any major differences between the two?
Yes. When they told me the role that I was going to be playing, I was like, oh, okay. And then they were like, make sure you look up the original disciplinarian. And they were like, yeah, she's a fan favorite. She was one of the standouts, this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh God, I got a lot to live up to already. And so I went and I researched her, her finisher, what she called it, all that stuff. And as far as like personality wise, we're similar. We're both no nonsense. How can I feel like I might be louder than she is. I might be a little bit louder. She's very strict. We're both very strict, but I add a little bit of a militant touch to it. Okay. So it's like I'm always screaming, you know, at my opponents and things like that. But it was so funny because when I first saw her, me just calling it like it is, I was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I look nothing like her.
No, you don't.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I was like, ooh, okay. So I'm coming in completely and I remember somebody writing under my picture when WOW announced it. They were like, I don't know who this woman is. I was like, yeah, I don't blame you for saying that.
Hey, but you know what?
But
Some people have to make it their own.
yeah, exactly. So I'm so humbled that they put me in that role. You know what I mean? As someone who is a fan favorite and someone, who got over one of the more popular characters and things like that. And I also get a manager. So I was like, oh hell yeah, you know what I mean? I was even more excited. Samantha Smart, like she's just she's from the Board of Education.
Oh
She
God.
she was, yeah. She's from the Board of Education. They billed me from the Board of Education.
Is the Board of Education
Um,
a location? Is, is that a geographical place?
yeah, sure. I guess. I mean, every place has a Board of Education, right?
Well, yeah, yeah, you're right. Every
Yeah.
place does have a Board of Education. I was like,
So I came highly recommended to her, and so
ah,
she liked what she saw, and she hired me to put some wild superheroes in check,
okay.
to discipline them and things like that. And I can't wait for y'all to see it. Like I can't wait for y'all to see it, man.
this is for Samantha Smart. If you happen to be listening out there, and because I've followed your Instagram, I've seen the quotes of how genius level intellect you are, and that these things that
Yeah.
you've put up. I'm gonna leave this as an open invitation for you to this show to show me just indeed how smart you are without the benefit of Google on your side. I'm just gonna.
Hold on now. Wait a second. You're gonna have to get off my girl. Okay.
Look, I know. I have to give her a hard time. I got to give you a hard time now because you're clearly evil. You clearly heal.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, I just, everybody needs a little discipline, right? I mean,
No.
otherwise you're gonna have chaos, right?
Well, you know what? That's true. But I will also add this that most bad guys also believe that they're doing the right thing.
Huh? What you talking about? Huh?
Did you not see Avengers: Infinity War?
I did not. But
There's a reason Thanos went after doing what he's doing. And for those that saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And for those that didn't, look it up. There's a reason that man went through the extremes that he did. He believed that what he was doing was absolutely right. So what else? You got to break a few eggs, baby. That's along the way. I got to break a few eggs, and those eggs just happen to be people.
pretty much, yeah.
So yes, open invitation, Samantha Smart. Anytime you're ready. The disciplinarian has already made her appearance, and apparently she's going to put some wild superheroes in check. Now I have no insight as to the tapings, the matches, or anything like that, but I will say a match that I would look forward to within that. There's always one WoW original that I want to see take on the newcomers, and that is Jungle Girl. I am overly fascinated with Jungle Girl. She's a fantastic woman. That she's been on the show twice. Uh, just phenomenal in my worldview. And the Disciplinarian versus Jungle Girl 2.0, I think that would be wonderful to see.
All right, so out of character, I am a big fan of her. I told her that. Out of character, I told her that.
Okay.
In character, I would love to beat her up. I would love to get in the ring with her. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Like I said, I had to give two different sides. Like I don't know, shoot side and work side. I had to. So.
I can appreciate that, and let me tell you, let me admit something here, and I'll put this out to the public before. I want to say it was probably season 3 or 4 of them when it was on their website. I told her that I think you're responsible for the single best match that they've had in this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
It was her versus Tadvik the Gamer. I was like, it was very easy to follow. Like it wasn't nothing outlandish or like hot spot and all that stuff like that. It was just a very easy thing to follow. You got it, and you could be invested in the story that she was telling. I was like, I don't see that very often, where the story is being told between the ropes. And
see, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, not to like, a lot of people want to be able to follow a story. You know what I mean?
yes,
My thing is, at the end of the day, from a worker's perspective, I want to be like Booker in the sense of he's never had surgery because of wrestling. You know what I mean? Because he took care of himself. You know, he knew that he didn't want to end up like some of his peers and things like that. So he was about the psychology of it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. If you want to flip, slide, jump off buildings, whatever, that's you. That's not me. You know what I mean? And so I feel like everyone shouldn't be held to that standard. Kudos to those guys and girls that be flipping and flying and doing all that stuff, but I'm just like, that's not the psychology I was taught. Cool, cool for you, but I feel like it makes me so nervous. It makes me so nervous to see people do like some of the craziest things. And I'm just like, fans just want to follow a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just, you can, I feel like, not knocking anybody at all. You're going to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Hell, who the hell am I? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that I know that I want to do my best and make sure that, I can freaking walk. At the end of the day, it just scares me. So wrestling scares me nowadays. It really does.
Some people scare me. I'll put it that way. I don't know if wrestling necessarily scares me more as some of the people that's in it.
Yeah, well, that's more what I meant. Like the people go, they go to the extremes, man, and I'm just like, yeah.
Let me tell you, I have to give a quick shout out to another wrestling school, APCW, which is here outside of Atlanta, and is run by Robert Gibson. And for whatever reason, he gets these text messages, and he's like, "Hey, look at this video somebody just sent me," and it's almost always some guy that is doing something stupid in the ring and nearly kills himself.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this entertaining for you?
No. Yeah, and that's why Selena, she was very appreciative of what I did at the taping. She was like, "You're old school." She was like, "I like that a lot." You know what I mean? So I was just like, good. I was like, thank you. But like I said, that's just the way that I was taught. Booker is all about like the psychology and things like that. You can be athletic, sure, show off your athletic skills. Just don't do anything that's going to kill you.
Yeah,
you know what I
don't.
mean? Like,
please don't.
Yeah, so that makes me nervous about a lot of people nowadays. I want more people to be a little bit more careful. You know what I mean?
Well, I wish you were there a year ago when I saw this guy that clearly shouldn't have been doing a suicide dive, attempting the suicide dive. He was probably 200 pounds, a little bit too heavy for that, and his knee pad got caught on the middle rope, and I was the cameraman that day, so I had a front row seat for that. It's like,
it's time for random questions.
He survived it. He continued on, but he never did another one since then. Never took another suicide dive. Never even attempted it. I was like, probably smart on you.
Yeah.
How did you even come across WOW? Did you contact them? Did they contact you? Is this open information?
Let me see. Do I want to say? I was contacted by them.
Okay.
I was contacted by them. Someone put me in touch. They were asking a certain person, about a couple of girls, and they were like, "Hey, check out this person. She's she's a genuine person. She's nice. She's a hard worker. This, that, and the other." And so that's how I ended up coming in contact with them.
Cool. That's cool. That's one of those stories where the work pays off, and sometimes it's not about who you know, it's who's willing to say they know you.
Yeah, and then that's what they were saying. They were about just as I was talking to a couple people there, they were just saying that they're like, you could be a great worker, you can travel the world, you could work this person, that person, but if you have a terrible personality, we don't want you. And the fact that this person was going to bat for me and saying how much of a good person I am and how I treat others with respect, this, that, and the other, I was very, very humbled by that. And so, that's one of the things that we discussed, and I was like, thank you so much. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay. That's very good. One thing that before I leave off of WoW is that I've noticed in today's wrestling environment is that it seems that there's a lot more leniency as far as being in one location or the next. Case in point, we'll say Austin Aries, which we've seen him on House of Hardcore, we've seen him on Impact, we've seen him show up. I forget the other show. I think it was Ring Warriors. And these are all televised products, but he's been allowed to kind of move back and forth. Kara Hogan probably would be another example of that, having done tapings with Impact and appearing as Fire in WoW. That said, is there an understood leeway that WoW is giving like these other promotions are giving? That being, if somebody were to contact you tomorrow, as long as it didn't interfere with the tapings that they're doing, of course, could you still do that?
Yes. As long as it doesn't, like you were saying, as long as it doesn't interfere with what they have going on, then it's not a problem.
Well, that's excellent, because now I can only imagine that the independent promoters out there that's going to be looking at you or wanting to get you on their shows and stuff like that, now they can have a WoW superhero. But I guess the real question becomes, do they get Robyn Reid or do they get the disciplinarian?
Oh no, I'd have to show. The disciplinarian is under contract for a while, so in order for her to perform anywhere else, they'd have to get permission from WoW. Okay. Because that's a whole different, like the way that she dresses and things like that. That's a little different. So they get the Black Diamond. They wouldn't get the disciplinarian. They would get the Black Diamond.
Okay, that's fair. Now I asked that because conversation I had with another WoW original, Riot, at the time. She probably is the only WoW girl that I've ever seen perform as Riot elsewhere. Because even Jungle Girl, when she went to the Indies, she didn't wrestle as Jungle Girl. She was Eric Porter. She couldn't take the name, but for somehow, some way, Riot was actually Riot, and she wrestled off against Angelina Love that one time, and that was it. So I didn't, so just for clarification's sake for myself, for the people that's listening, any promoters that happen to be out there that are confused, who just want to make sure that, okay, if you're booking Robyn Reid, you're getting the Black Diamond, not the disciplinary. All right, unless you work out something with David McLean, we'll put it that way.
Yes, exactly. You got to work out something with David.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we got that covered, and we've gone through a lot of the updates of life with you. So I did this with you last time. Time to hit it again. It is random questions.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
All right, you ready for me?
Yeah.
Surfer Sting, Crow Sting, or Joker Sting?
Crow Sting.
What's the Black Diamond's idea of discipline? We're mixing the two here.
What makes what?
We're mixing the two here. You see what I did there? Black Diamond's idea of discipline. Boom.
Yeah, they just, oh my God, it went over my head. Black Diamond, just making sure people stay in line, man. If you don't, I create the rules, and if you don't follow them, if I feel like you're not following them, then that's when you get disciplined. Mm-hmm. That's when you get your ass beat.
Okay. Black Dynamite or I'ma get you sucker?
I'll get you sucker.
Are you above beating up children? In the ring, of course.
Oh, look. Okay, you know what?
That's a simple question. It's simple.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
And notice I added in the ring, of course. But you plead the fifth. I'll accept that. Having done the LA thing recently, are there any acting aspirations waiting in the wings for you?
Hopefully, I hope so. That's another step I would like to accomplish.
Okay. What is the single most gluttonous food that you have ever eaten?
Pizza.
What was the movie of 2018?
Oh gosh, I'm not a big movie person.
You wasn't a big movie person when I asked you the first time. That's why I did it.
That's why I was like, I'm not a big movie. I will go get. I tell you what I do like to do, and I'm a collector of. I love this time of the year, so I collect a lot of DVDs based on either Halloween, Christmas, or Thanksgiving, something like that. So I go out and I buy DVDs. I'm not a big movie person.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna add a caveat to that. Then, what was the last DVD you purchased?
Oh God. Oh, please don't judge me, okay? Please don't judge me.
I'm totally judging you.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
The Great Pumpkin.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I don't know. What was Hocus Pocus? I don't remember that. Was that it?
The Three Witches. How do you not?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, Bette Midler. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm a movie guy. I forgot. You got me. Okay. Now, when you watch the Great Pumpkin, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Are you still rooting for Linus?
Oh man, I always got to root for Charlie. Like Charlie Brown, they just do him so dirty. I don't like that. I root for Linus in this particular thing, but overall, it's they do Charlie Brown so dirty.
Well, yeah, they do.
But yeah, I do. I'm rooting for Linus in this.
What did you get? I got a rock.
Even when Charlie Brown's sister cursed him out for wasting her time and stuff. So.
Well, she was mad. So I could have been out getting candy. I was in this pumpkin patch with you. Yeah, I know that movie. Yes, and quite honestly, she had every right to be pissed.
Yeah.
She went in that pumpkin patch for the love of her man, and what she got for was just a wasted night.
A wasted night of trick or treating.
There you go.
Giving candy.
So let that be a lesson to you, boys and girls out there. There is no Great Pumpkin.
I wouldn't say that, man. I don't
know. well, let me ask, are you going to stand in the pumpkin patch waiting on?
Hell no.
Well, there you go. Last one. The disciplinarian versus the Black Diamond. Who wins? Yeah, that's a good one, right?
Oh man. Oh.
Is this your?
You know what?
This your second
I'm gonna
plead
say
the fifth?
it's a count out. I'm gonna give it a count out.
You're gonna give it a count out?
They brought to the outside. And they both got backup, so it's a count out. It's gonna turn into a brawl. There you go.
Okay. I give you that. Now, if we basing it off of the backup, I would have assumed that the Black Diamond would do it because she's got the Dynasty. Smart is only
Yeah,
one
that's
person.
what I was thinking, but the disciplinarian, when you see her, she's a freaking savage, man. I don't know.
Okay, we'll take that, and at the same time, in that same breath, you just completed fantasy booking because you just booked yourself a match between yourself and came up with the finish.
Golly. Now I got to go get like some custom costume stuff, and one side Black Diamond, the other side just, oh gosh. All right.
Well,
Look.
What you could do is, you get somebody to make you a custom action figure of the disciplinarian, then the custom action figure of the Black Diamond, and then you just have it out on that.
Smart. Okay. I'm feeling this.
Or, because I can almost guarantee that there's going to be some fan. Well, I know that some fan has already made like a custom wrestler video game character of you by now.
Yeah.
So you just wait until the disciplinarian version of your custom comes out also, and then you make the computer do it, and then the computer figure out who will win.
Got you. I'll keep that in mind.
To finish this thing off, booking information, social media, you want to make sure that your promoters and everybody can get in touch with you. Because again, once January rolls around, I would expect that your demand will go up a bit. So, would you like to?
That'd be nice.
I'm fully expecting this. So, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but TV has a way of doing that for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
let's share some of this, and again, I'm going to repeat to those that are here: don't wait until she becomes a big star, and then decide, we got to get her on our show now. Try put some effort in, please. Anyway, so go back to social media, please, if you will.
I finally got on Instagram. Yay! You can find me on Instagram at @THEE.black.diamond. On Facebook, it is Robyn Reid. On Twitter, it is Robyn Reid Row. Spelled ROBY as in yellow. NREIDROW. And what else am I missing? Just contact me through there. I would give my email, but I'm scared of what I might see in my inbox. But yeah.
Well, we won't go through that. If they can contact you through Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, I guess that'd be good enough. If the email isn't for professional purposes, I guess there's really no reason to put that out. And so I think that'll do it. I think that covers the ground. Other than me saying one other thing, as you brought up your Instagram, I forgot that there was one picture of yours that I really liked. That was you holding up Destro.
Oh yeah, Modern Myth Photography, man. He brought out the Funko Pop, and he said as we were taking pictures, he was like, "I got this one particularly for you." And so honestly, I was like, "Wait, who is this?" And then he told me, and so I went and looked him up, and I was like, "Got it."
Oh man!
So I thought that was pretty badass. Like, thank you, Modern Myth. You're awesome. Your pictures are beautiful.
Yes, you got it.
Please book him.
Destro's great. He's one of the great all-time villains.
Mhm.
Love that little thing. Okay, so that said, I want to thank everybody for sitting through our catch-up interview. I want to thank you for taking time out to come back on and speak with me and update me as to everything that's going on. I mean, you got a lot of stuff happening, and I hope that it continues to grow, in your favor.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, you already got wild superheroes, and as I said, TV has a way of doing that for people. So who knows? Next thing I might see you on is Ring Warriors or Impact Wrestling or something like that. It just seems like, barring WWE, everybody else is fair game.
Mm-hmm.
And today that seems like a great thing. It's like you get so much exposure.
For sure.
So that said, again, people, thank you for tuning in to the Women's Pro Wrestling Network Rights and Wrongs, a pro wrestling podcast. You can follow me with WPNWrestling.com, which is the nexus for all things Women's Pro Wrestling Network. That Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Am I forgetting one? I might be forgetting one, but anyway, YouTube. I forgot. Yeah, about the YouTube channel. All the stuff I got goes right to the YouTube channel. So if you want to check up on these podcasts, matches, interviews, both audio and video alike, they're all there. And so with that, I want to say good night to those that are listening. Good night to my guests. And you have final words?
Yes. Go for your dreams, man. It's better to say that you went for something instead of saying what if.
Yeah, it is. I must agree. And with that, I'll say so long, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.